Hello. I wanted to introduce myself properly. I'm Kingsley, otherwise known as Kingo. My pronouns are he, they, and I'm 25. I'm about to be 26 in November, and I have been traveling across the country since 2021 as my full-time way of life. I primarily have done this through the Renaissance Festival circuit and have really enjoyed it and found a lot of empowerment through this experience. Whenever I started this and people asked me about it, and for years after, I would always say it's really challenging and hard and kind of brutal and harsh, but it's worth it. And it has been for a really long time, but I'm ready to start a new chapter. So this is my final year on the road for a while, and I'm gonna learn how to exist in the normal world. A lot of people like travel content, and I like making it. I'm still kind of fresh to it, but it's been cool and it's been kind of a grounding experience in some ways. But this year in this life has worn on me enough that I can say I don't think it's worth it for me anymore, at least for the next phase of what I want to do and what I want to grow into. And I'm really excited, honestly, to have running water. Oh, running water is going to be amazing. Honestly, I fantasize about it. And climate control and a big window I can open the curtain with, and a bathtub. I am excited to get to have people that I see consistently enough to build a different type of relationship with. Being able to travel, especially through the Ren Fair circuit, has given me a very unique experience of how to connect with people. On one hand, you almost trauma bond in a way. You're just like, wow, they don't have any showers here, and we're outside in this field and the sun's really hot. Time to come together as a community to have some potlucks and go to the gym together and join and invite as many people as we can to the grocery run, because only a few of us have cars. And you get a lot of strong community out of that, and you also get to meet people really fast, and then in 2 months you're across the country, and there's a chance you might not see them for 3 years, if ever, or you might see them at the next show, and you never know. But because of that constant cycling of space and environment and people, you get to stay refreshed, and you get to actively choose, if you choose to be intentional with it, to say, okay, this show I'm going to be focusing on learning how to set these types of boundaries and practicing that and learning that skill. Or it could be, I'm gonna make my bed each day. And a lot of people don't choose to approach it like that. I did, and I got a lot of healing and growth from that. I really enjoyed getting to learn at such a fast pace so many life lessons, and make some life mistakes, and pretty soon you are on to the next show, and it's just a way of not getting stagnant or stuck in one thing. I got to learn a whole lot of different skills because I had a different job every 2 months, and it was really amazing for me. But man, I'm excited to learn what it's like to get to see the same people for 6 months, if not longer, at a time. I'm excited to have consistency of okay, let's do community meals in a house, or let's do potlucks in spaces. There's a whole murder of crows above me. That's amazing. I'm excited to learn how to grow in softness instead of fire. I feel like my road experience has been very similar to dandelion fluff in the way that I get scattered in the wind and I land a place and I grow, and even if it's an awful experience, I'm only there for like 2 months at most, and then I pack up and I go, and I'm having this constant flood of new experiences. But man, wouldn't it be nice to have like tea in the same chair every day? And having a bathtub and a shower waiting for you back at home that you know you get to use? And being able to buy bulk of basic necessities because you have enough space to store them, instead of like having to get the small portions of things because you live out of your car. Having a fridge. I could have salads so much more consistently. I could have frozen foods. I could have health insurance. The thing is, it's gonna be a big learning curve. I moved out of my parents' house whenever I was 21 and went straight onto the Ren Fair circuit. I found it. I said, I feel like I found a place I was homesick for my whole life, and I ran with it. And I got so far. And I learned a lot. But I never learned how to, like, get an apartment or cook with an oven. Or how to do utilities bills. I'd pay the campground I was staying at enough to stay there throughout the show, and that was it. I learned how to cook on a camp stove. I learned what groceries to buy because I had an ice chest. And it's going to be such a big learning curve, and a part of me is really scared of that, but doing something I've never done before hasn't ever stopped me before, so why should I let it now? I am really scared and excited about this change, and I hope you join me throughout that experience, and I can share with you what it's like to go from being on the road into that space and trying to apply the lessons I've learned from this life into the next phase. I see a lot more content about starting to travel and running away, but the thing about it is, if you're running away from something on the road, it's not going to be sustainable. You have to run towards whatever you want to do. And sometimes it's just, I want to do something different. And the road is a great place to start with that. And for the most part during this experience, I was running towards my experiences that I wanted. And at this point, I can't get any of those on the road anymore. I'm gonna have walls, guys. I'm gonna get walls, and I'm gonna hang up art in my tapestries, and I'll have roommates, and I'll get to meet people and make friends with people that are gonna be consistently in my life, and actually get to grow through conflict together. Because I'm not ignorant enough to think that there would never be conflict. I mean, anyone living in the same space or sharing space for any amount of time, there's going to be some conflict, but I want to show you something. This is my atlas. I've been using it for years. This is the US map. I started here in Houston, and I've made it all the way over here this year. And then in a week, I'm gonna be traveling all the way, it's really hard to see from this angle, all the way over wind. to Michigan. And then I'm gonna go to North Carolina and back home to Houston. I did that all this year, and I've done a lot of traveling in leading up to this, and I am so excited and ready to grow some roots and learn in what ways I can grow that are different from what I've had access to here. Join me on the journey if you want to experience it with me. Love to have you along for the ride.